Hi guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors Draymond Green doubles down on prediction with blunt Jimmy Butler claim. When the Golden State Warriors traded for Jimmy Butler, it seemed like a sense of bravado was restored within a Dubs brass that was being humbled by the past few seasons. Butler was a legitimate superstar, although it did not seem like it considering how badly he burned his bridges with the Miami Heat this season, and with that many doubted whether or not the 35-year-old forward truly is the piece missing from their championship puzzle. The early returns of the Butler trade, however, are promising. The Warriors have won 5 of their first 6 games with Butler, and his addition has made life so much easier for Stephen Curry, Draymond Green and the rest of the team's roster, and perhaps having this restored sense of bravado is justified, what with Green and Butler declaring that the Warriors are primed to bring home the championship this year. So far, Green has found no reason to back down from his aggressive championship take from last week. I just know what it looks like. This team all year has been kind of like, man, we're right there but can't quite get over the hump. But there's a reason that you feel like you're right there but can't quite get over, Green said per Marcus Thompson and Sam Mamch of The Athletic. For Green, he believes that Butler truly is the missing piece to the Warriors championship puzzle, and the reason I think we all thought we couldn't quite get over was because there was a missing piece. That piece isn't missing anymore, that piece is him, Green added. Only time will tell, however, if the Warriors are able to pull off a similar run to the one they had in 2022. There are many other fierce competitors for the Larry O'Brien Trophy, with the title race being seemingly more wide open than in recent seasons, but having the confidence that they can win it all is the first step to doing so, even with the Warriors playing markedly better basketball. As of late, nothing is still certain regarding their playoff hopes, let alone their championship dreams. Their record of 30-27 currently has them at 9th place in the West standings, so if the season were to end today, they will have to fight through the playing gauntlet to quality for the playoffs, an environment that their Warriors haven't exactly thrived in. As one would recall, back in 2021 the Warriors lost 2 play-in games, missing the playoffs entirely, and then in 2020 they got demolished by the Sacramento Kings. In the 910 play-in matchup, they would want to avoid the play-in tournament at all costs, although if they keep up their current pace with Jimmy Butler, they should at least finish within the top 6 of the conference. Mavericks' self-inflicted wound from trade deadline won't stop haunting them. The Dallas Mavericks were struggling to put the ball in the hoop in the blowout loss against Golden State on Sunday, and their 3-game winning streak came to a close. The Mavericks are in a rough 2-game road stretch right now. They'll have to keep their heads up on what will be back-to-back emotional road games against the Golden State Warriors. The Mavs had to deal with Andre Iguodala's jersey retirement, which gave the Dubs motivation. Now they'll have to deal with Luka Doncic playing against the Mavs for the first time in his career tomorrow as Dallas travels to Los Angeles. This was marked on each team calendar since the infamous trade that took place in early February. Many fans seem to still not make sense of the move, and while there are many fans out there who might have felt this way for a long time, the injuries to the Mavs' big men seem to be making progress. Dallas increased their big man depth at the trade deadline by trading for Anthony Davis, but they lost guard depth. Quentin Grimes was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for Caleb Martin, who's proven to be a 3-and-D forward with plenty of playoff experience, but losing Grimes is a bigger loss than fans realize. Following the trade, there's one major subtraction to the Mavs offense, and while many think that it has to do with Doncic no longer on the court, it's deeper than that, as the Mavs offense was exposed against Golden State with potential to be exposed the same way against other teams. Grimes' stint won't go unnoticed, as he looked to be having some of his best days on the basketball court in a Maverick uniform. His shot-creating skills to be a go-getter on the court meant that the Mavs had multiple guys to get their own if they had to improvise on the late shot clock. This was a hole left wide open in the Golden State game as guys looked to be lost on the court, with teams hounding Kyrie Irving on double teams, leaving him with no outlet to turn to lose. Doncic was obviously huge, as his all-around offensive awareness was able to help create good looks anywhere for anyone on the court. His skills are missed greatly, but it was Grimes who added an extra piece to help create his own shot, and that was missed in what turned out to be a blowout loss. Grimes showed that he is much more than a 3-and-D player during his time in Dallas, and his ability to score off the dribble was incredibly underrated. He has already been missed on the Mavericks, and he has played well in Philadelphia thus far, with Irving at 32 years old. Him being swarmed on double teams all night may not be the best for his stamina, and having more young shot creators was necessary for the Mavs to get by. This means that more screen and rolls with Davis once he returns can make up for the lack of shot creating through 5 games with Jimmy Butler. The Golden State Warriors 30-27 were 4-1, with the lone loss coming in a hard-fought February 12 battle with the Dallas Mavericks 31-27. They avenged that defeat on Sunday, blowing out the Mavs 126-102 after helping his new team at a 7-game road trip. On a high note, the 6-time All-Star competed in the Chase Center for the first time as a member of the Dubs. While Butler did not post eye-opening numbers, he still made a clear impact, finishing with 18 points on 5 of 9. Shooting 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal and 1 block. Following the triumphant home debut, the 35-year-old wing shifted his attention to an important matter that required his attention. First game was a dub, now I got to find somewhere to live, 'cause I don't got nowhere to live out here, he said by a clutch points. First game was a dub, now I got to find somewhere to live, 'cause I don't got nowhere to live out here. Jimmy Butler doesn't even have a place to live in San Francisco and is already winning games for the Warriors. Skull via at NBA. Golden State acquired Butler in a trade and promptly signed him to a 2-year contract extension worth $111 million on February 7, but in that time he has unfortunately not yet secured new digs. The 2023 All-NBA second teamer has lived through far worse circumstances. However, he was homeless at the age of 13, living from couch to couch through much of his teenage years before using basketball to dramatically improve his life. It has not always been smooth, with many people maligning Butler for how he has exited his former teams, the most recent one being the Miami Heat. However, the two-way talent continues to land on his feet. Butler has impressed Warriors fans by doing what he does best, contributing to winning basketball. Who knows how this marriage will end, but his elevating effect is undeniable. Warriors acquire star Australian point guard for developmental ranks. According to ESPN Shams Charania, the Warriors have acquired one guard, Teron Armstrong, from overseas. The Golden State Warriors are signing Australia's Teron Armstrong to a 2-way contract. His agent Daniel Moldovan tells ESPN Armstrong, a 6'6" point guard, has been a standout in the Australian National Basketball League and now enters the NBA. Tania reported the 23-year-old is a talented score-first point guard. Armstrong wells with exceptional athleticism, the ability to emphatically finish at and above the rim and knock down the long ball at a steady rate. In 2024-25 he averaged 17.1 points, 4.6 rebounds and 4.7 assists per contest for the K-Type. Armstrong could refine his court vision and improve upon the 35.1% connect rate he knocks down three-pointers at, but in all, the 2024 undrafted prospect possesses many gifts that figure to translate to the NBA level. Armstrong will get the chance to perfect his game in the G League should he tear through that level of play. The California Baptist product would compete with Gary Payton for backup point guard responsibilities on the Warriors. And you fan, what do you think of Dan Armstrong's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.